Welcome to the Everyday Epigenetics, raw, real, relatable podcast. We're your hosts, Susan Robbins, certified epigenetic human performance coach,
and Kate King, licensed psychotherapist, board-certified art therapist, and award-winning author. Together, we bring two perspectives, two styles, and one shared passion for epigenetics.
On this podcast, we delve into topics such as environment, nutrition, fitness, mindset, social dynamics, and trauma as they pertain to epigenetic expression in a way that's relatable to everyone.
We recognize that everyone's needs are unique. There are no one-size-fits-all solutions for your mind, body, and heart. The true magic lies within you.
So if you're ready to create a radiant life through epigenetics and reclaim your authentic self, then buckle up. Here we go. Welcome to the Everyday Epigenetics, raw, real, relatable mini of the week. I am one of your hosts, Susan Robbins, and I am here with the lovely
Kate King. And today we are talking about gluten and some substitutes for gluten foods that you may not know have existed. I certainly didn't know they existed. And thanks to Susan, I am now eating so much less gluten and I'm really enjoying some of these other products. And they're out there. We just sometimes don't know where to look. And so it's really helpful to have a good friend like Susan Robbins in your back pocket who is scouring the recipes
aisles,
the ingredient lists, all the information that sometimes we don't want to slow down our busy lives and check out ourselves. So, Susan, can you tell us what some of these products are?
Yeah, absolutely. And I just want to say, if you knew how long it takes me to grocery shop, because I'll pull a product, say, oh, what's that? And I look and I literally am the label detective. And I try to teach my clients to be label detectives because just because something says gluten-free doesn't mean it's healthy. Stay out of the gluten-free aisles. They're typically products that have a high glycemic index, the ingredients that are thrown in there, which means it's going to spike your blood sugar even more. And if they're things like baking mixes, brownie mixes, they're just gluten-free, or your gluten-free cupcakes, it's crap. And we used to joke about it when I was coaching years ago with my clients in Montana. We call it crap in a can or crap in a box. Like, it's just relabeled crap, right? Where you take out one ingredient, maybe it's the enriched or the wheat flour, and replace it with something else. But all the preservatives, the junk, the sugar still remains. So don't be fooled by gluten-free. Read your labels. We already did one of these on sugar, so most of you that listen to that should be starting to be a little detective when it comes to that. So I'm just going to turn you on to a couple of things to replace some of these either high glycemic or gluten things. There's people that are predisposed to celiac or gluten intolerance, gluten sensitivity genetically. And again, just by not eating these gluten-filled products, you can stop the expression of those genes, right? So pay attention to that. It can be very inflammatory to the gut. Very rarely do I see it as a great one on a pH 360 profile. There's other things that are better. And so the first one I'm going to talk about, this is one of my favorites. Now, I grew up in Jersey. My mom cooked a lot of Italian food. So we had pasta, a lot of different types of pastas. And I remember up until I found out I was celiac, I was doing pastas all the time. And this product, after I stopped, I had to find things. And I tried the miracle noodles, which they're like a ramen texture. They're made from a plant fiber and they're like a ramen, but rubbery. And so you have to cut them because they're really long. They'll take on the flavor of whatever you put them with. They can be a good source. And they're like, you'll see Miracle Noodles is like the big brand. But I was looking for something because I wanted something like a spaghetti or an angel hair. That's what I really loved. And this is where I found this product called Palmini. For those of you listening, it's Palmini. And it's hearts of palm pasta. And I'm saying pasta with air quotes because all it is is hearts of palm, which is a vegetable, and it's carved out in the shape of this one's linguine. They have angel hair and they have lasagna. Now, I've never used the lasagna, but there's no fat. There's 4 grams of carbohydrates, no sugar, 2 grams of fiber. So hearts of palm are very fiber heavy, and 1 gram of protein. So, and they have a very mild flavor. And what I love about it is they don't need to be cooked. Where pasta you have to boil, you don't have to boil these. You don't have to cook them. You just have to give them a really good rinse in a colander, and then you add them to whatever you're doing. I do a lot of homemade pesto, and they're fantastic. And it has the texture of about an al dente pasta. So where another substitute you could use are the zucchini noodles. People have tried the zoodles. The thing with the zoodles is they can get really mushy. You can overcook them very easily, and if you buy them already, like frozen and all, it's like a bunch of mush, and they're made really thinly. If you get a good spiralizer, and they have them on Amazon, you can make a thicker zoodle, and what you would wanna do to cook that is bring a pot of water to a boil. Soon as it comes to a boil, you dump in your zoodles, and then you immediately take it off the heat 45 seconds, and then rinse under cold water, and you'll have a heartier type of noodle texture to the zoodles. Don't get the ones that are super thin. Again, you're gonna cook those and they're gonna get really mushy, and you're going, "This is not a good substitute for pasta. This sucks."
Yeah.
So if you don't wanna deal with the cooking, do the palmini, and again, you don't have to worry because it really is just such a great texture that gives you that feeling of pasta. And I make up different things with the palmini, and then I'll freeze them because with high histamine, I don't want leftovers more than 24 hours. That increases histamine in the food. So if you have histamine issues, get your things into the freezer, portion them out, and the palmini freezes great. It's like I just pull out and I have a nice pasta dish.
Well,
So
and I'll say too, just to piggyback on this, I love Palmini, this product. Susan, it's one of the really great gifts that you've given to me. I just made a dish with Palmini 2 nights ago for my family, and I told my husband, I was like, "Just let me know what you think of this stuff, and if you want me to use it from now on." I didn't even tell my kids, and we put salmon and scallops and shrimp with the Palmini, and nobody said anything. Everybody completed their whole meal. It was incredible. I am constantly dealing with a daughter who's complaining on food, and she ate her whole palmini. It really is good. And I will get back to
yeah.
the lasagna because this week I'm going to try making lasagna with those palmini strips.
So you have to report in.
Oh, I will. Yeah.
Yeah. So again, it's using a veggie to take the place of something processed. It's a win-win. Another product I found is, and again, super low glycemic. This is not going to spike your blood sugar whatsoever. The the zucchini, the zoodles, it's a they're a bit lower on the glycemic index. I think you and I looked last week and it was like 15. 55 is and higher. Over 55, you're starting to get into a little bit higher glycemic. Rice noodles, you think, okay, well, rice, no gluten. Rice noodles are a glycemic index of about 65. So rice tends to be a bigger spiker. So you really have to watch there. A lower glycemic, again, around 20-ish, is lentils and chickpeas. So there's a red lentil pasta, and Whole Foods has their own brand of red lentil pasta. Sprouts used to, I can't find it anymore, and all it is red lentils. Now, these tend to be, and the chickpea pasta, there's a Bonza pasta that's only chickpeas. You have to look in some of these because some of them will have other things like quinoa, corn, or again, rice and other things added in. So really look at the labels. But the lentil pasta I found, like, and the ones that are the legumes like lentil and chickpea tend to be a little bit gummy no matter how you cook them. They can be great if you're like, "I just need something, I want something like a corkscrew," and they're great like the rotini type shapes, but again, I would go back to, like, palmini for more of a traditional pasta. Cassava flour, there's Jovial is a brand. They tend to hold up a little bit better, but the cassava is definitely a higher glycemic index of anywhere from 79 to 94. And you see it with the autoimmune paleo, cassava. I did that. I got fatter because it was spiking my blood sugar so much. So, but if you do it on just a here and there, like a very occasional basis, the jovial cassava is not a bad choice if you're really trying to avoid gluten. But if you're trying to keep your sugar from spiking, I would go to something more like the palmini or the zucchini, the zoodles, thickly thickly done. And then I found this awesome rice substitute because I want something like rice. I do a lot of curry, homemade curry, and I want that rice with it. But rice, again, super high glycemic, starchy. I don't do well with it. A lot of activators with connectors, not really well with starches. This brand, because I tried the Palmini brand is mush. It's crap. It's not good.
Only
Natural
rice.
heaven.
The pasta is good on
Right, the
palmini.
pasta grace, but this is the rice, the
Mhm.
Palmini rice. Did not no. And you had to drain it really well. This brand is called Natural Heaven. You could get it on Amazon. I get it in the box of 6 of them for $24. And they'll have a brown and a white, just a color, but all it is hearts of palm once again, some sea salt. You don't have to rinse this. You put it into a saucepan just for 2 minutes to dry it up a little bit, and then you add your oil. So I add 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil for another 2 minutes, done. And it just break it up a bit with a spoon and, again, glycemic index like nil, like super low, and you
I'm
can
trying that tonight, by the way.
are you trying you're gonna
Yep,
have to report back on that too.
I'm gonna put it with ground elk and chopped up chard, and
Oh, it works great. I do
I'm
it
so
with
excited.
ground beef, ground turkey, ground chicken. I do that a lot for breakfast casseroles because again, you're getting really good fiber in there. And I know the carnivore people
I
are
love
like, you don't need fiber. You need fiber.
Well,
Sorry.
and I love my rice, and I'm like, I think that part of me is Japanese, and so sushi for me is like a staple in my house, and so I'm really excited to try
Yeah.
tonight.
Yeah,
So
because it's not gonna leave you with that bloat feeling. When we eat rice, a lot of time we get full, and then you wonder why you eat your Chinese food, you're hungry again. There's the MSG, and then there's the rice with it. Shoot the blood sugar up, and then it crashes, and you need more. So these are just a couple of quick tips. If you want more, I am a plethora of information on this stuff because I've tried it all. I am celiac and insulin resistant. Not now, but I have been insulin resistant in the past. And really have to keep an eye on my blood sugars and my starchy, like the heavy carbs and stuff. So
we can very
great
easily do
choices.
a gluten-free substitutes part 2 if you guys want it. So just let us
Yeah, we'd be happy to.
want if you
Or
wanna piggyback to this conversation.
yeah, or what other substitutes are you looking for? What else do you want from us that we can help with? But these are just quick ones for like pasta and rice. And again, rice is naturally gluten-free. However, it's a higher glycemic and it can be issues for some people just having that starch when sometimes you want that evening meal, even though we don't want heavy at night, to just have that feeling of satiety. And it definitely makes a difference. So let us know. Please give us feedback. We're not getting a whole lot of feedback on what you guys would like to see, what you'd like to hear. And it's important to us so we can put out the right information for you because we're just throwing the pasta, throwing the palmini at the wall to see if it sticks with what you guys want. So please help us out. Tell us what you want to hear. And thank you so much for tuning in. Share this episode and go check out our Everyday Epigenetics Raw Real Relatable chat group on Facebook. And please come in to chat and give us feedback. We appreciate it. Get out there, make a great day, and be your most authentic selves. Thanks for joining us. Thank you so much for tuning into our podcast.
If you enjoyed this week's episode, we'd love for you to share it, leave a review or comment, and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. Help us get this information out to everyone who could benefit, and we'll keep bringing you the content you crave.
You can also check out our podcast site at everydayepigenetics.co and sign up for our newsletter to stay updated on upcoming episodes. The link is in the show notes.
If you're interested in DNA or epigenetic coaching with Susan, or Radiant Life Coaching for deep inner work with Kate, our contact info is in the show notes below.
Now go and make it a great day and let your most authentic self shine.